Namaste, you guys. I'm Jeni Ji. Thanks for tuning in. Now, I'm going to be talking about this week's cosmic vibes, like what's going to happen from June the 7th to the 14th. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen every single day, what energies are at play, and how we can utilize this energy to move forward and throughout this. Now, this is going to be a week where you have to use caution. There's a lot of energies happening, and the energy of the week is what comes around goes around. Now, before I start talking about it, those of you who know, I am starting to do live psychic clairvoyant readings on my channel here on YouTube. I'm a past life Akashic record reader, do animal communication, clairvoyant readings, mediumship, all of that. So the next live is going to be on Friday, June the 28th at 12 noon Mountain Standard Time, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. Now, tune in here on YouTube and you could get yourself a free clairvoyant psychic reading. Only if you're tuned into Jeni. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You can go back. I've done a couple other live readings and such like that. You can watch those, other couple of shows under my live section on YouTube, and you can see what it's all about and such like that. Or you can book a private personal reading, soulworkwithjeni.com. Okay. Now, only if you subscribe. Hit that subscribe button down there on the corner. For gosh sakes, what are you guys missing out on? Okay, so now let's talk about this week. Now, June 7th to the 14th, like, oh my goodness sakes, we are still in this portal energy of the new moon in Gemini from the 6th. How many of you guys found that energy? How are you working through that? It could have been a very healing day for you. And new moons also can bring in some very painful resolutions. It can bring in to see a lot of new things, starting new projects and so on. And your emotions can be really, really high. New moons, endings, new beginnings, and so on. And for those of you who have been struggling, we all have been going through healings with this and with that. And it's still going to continue up for the rest of this year as well, right? So you'll have to tune in. I'll give you a lot more details, of course, on my other videos I did. You'll have to watch the last Cosmic Vibes videos because I go into more details about that June 6th new moon vibe. It was also the 6th day of the 6th month of portal day and so on and so on. So you could still be feeling the effects right now. Like some of you, how many of you had kind of like that sleepless nights, those the last few days? I did, waking up like 2:30, 3:30, 4 o'clock a.m. and so on and so on. It really shows you how powerful that energy is. When I wake up and I'm like, oh gosh, spirit, what now? Right? I literally get 24/7 nonstop messages from the spirit world, as I call it. So pay attention to if you are getting some messages coming in from the universe, from your soul, write it down. Okay, because we're all intuitive, we're all gifted in our own way. If you are tuned in, you can be dreaming this week and even the past few days about other lifetimes. You could have been, your soul could be showing you different things that are going to be coming up for you. And especially too, what we've been fearing about or worrying about or anxious about, you could start having dreams about that because your soul is bringing that to the surface on purpose for you to say, what am I struggling with? What am I working with here? Like, what am I letting go of? And so on, right? Like, I'm still healing from my surgery and God be with me. I have to go back on Monday, right? Like to get some stitches removed. And I'm really concerned about that, to be honest. I popped a little stitch. It's in a very awkward place and location for me to properly attend to and so on and so on. So I'm just asking for prayers to be with me. I'm not looking forward to that, to be really honest. However, when we go through certain situations, psych yourself up, say, I'm healing, I'm getting better, my body is healed, and so on. You know, that day on Monday, I can tell you one thing, I'm going to be waking up. It's going to be an awesome day. The day is going to flow with ease. You know, all of that. I do that especially whenever I know that there could be like challenges that day or something that I have to really deal with. About when you pre-psych yourself up, you know, so it's like whenever I go back to the surgeon, I'm going to be like, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be really good. I'm not going to feel a thing. You know, it's not infected, all of these different things, and so on and so on and so on. So as you're going through these struggles, you know, really, you know, pay attention to where your mind is at, where your thoughts are at, everything. Like, honestly, I'm going to ask them if they could freeze that area. I'm just hoping that it's, you know, it's a little inflamed, I must say, right? So not to go into fear zone, of course, right? So anyways, now this week, as I'm talking about, right, you're going to still, like I'm saying, having that full moon energy coming through. You know, you could find that there could be a little bit of challenges by letting go with certain things, like even myself that I just talked about with my surgery, right? God be with me. You know, so I'm still struggling a little bit with it. Honestly, it's like, you know what? I just want this done and out of the way Monday. I'm just really hoping to God that everything is okay. I still have a lot of different blood tests and everything to go through actually tomorrow and so on. So anyways, you might find that you this week are going to be like, you know, I want to start making some like drastic changes, right? I want to start reinventing myself. I want to start creating a new version of myself. You know, maybe you're changing your appearance. Maybe you're like, you know what? I'm going to revamp this. I'm going to be making changes on that. You know, I'm going to be doing this and this and that. Really pay attention to where you're feeling compelled to making these adjustments, to making these changes, right? Like, what areas do you guys want to make changes to? Start writing it down. You know, this is where vision boards are and so on and so on, like even with my surgery and stuff like that. You know, when I had my dog Bella, I gave my entire life, my entire being and energy towards her. She suffered dearly every day, back and forth to the vets and so on. I gave my whole entire life and energy to her to try to save her, do everything I could for her. However, her medical conditions took her over and her seizures took her out. She passed away, as you guys know, right? So it's time to start focusing on you. How many of you guys have been putting your energy into other things, not connected with you to help make you better? This is where you're going to be like, you know, it's time for me now. I got to like start doing this. I got to start making these changes. I'm going to reinvent myself and whatever way, listen to your calling, listen to your soul's purpose, to your soul's calling. This is where your eyes are going to be opening up more and like, yeah, that's what I really want to do. And sometimes it's best not to say anything about certain changes we want to do and we want to make. I usually don't, because you might find that certain things you want to change or certain things you want to do, you know, other people could be like slamming that or putting that down or doing this or doing that, which could stop you from following your life's purpose, your dreams. So who you surround yourself with, you become. You know, you guys might be hearing from people from your past as well resurfacing. You're going to find that certain, you know, people are coming back because they miss you, because they want to apologize, because like whatever it is, that's going to be up to you, of what decision that feels right for you. Now, I really want you guys to please take note, June 11th and June 12th. This is a very, very, very karmic day. So, you know, it's like what energy you send out comes back. And this is a day where it could be very violent. I want you guys to be very mindful about distancing yourself away from large crowds, especially in the USA. Really be mindful, be very careful. That can be a day that can be very shocking, a lot of violence, a lot of issues, a lot of trouble. You know, so maybe it's better to watch things from a distance if you want to get involved with it or whatever like that. Just please be very, very mindful. There's a lot of karmic repercussions coming from certain things that have happened, right? It's like even certain decisions that, you guys have made, let's say, all of a sudden that day, you could be like, wow, gosh, I wished I would have done things differently. So, how I said that you might be wanting to reinvent yourself, right? Maybe that day you're going to get results. Maybe that day that, you're going to get test results. Let's say if you guys were studying for an exam, and you're like, I should have studied every day. And then I did my exam. Maybe that day you're going to hear back that either you passed that exam because you really studied and put your energy into it, or maybe you're going to be like, gosh, I wished I would have actually studied because I failed it. So that's a very karmic day. Like this whole entire week, it's like the energy that you guys have been sending out. It's like if you guys have been really like trying to hurt somebody or you know what I mean? It's karma. It's a very karmic week, right? Like even the people are wanting to take their power back. Like there's going to be a lot more exposed. Like I've talked through without all my videos and so on with my predictions. There's a lot of changes coming, even changes with the real estate section and so on. A lot of leaderships are being exposed. So-called leaderships is what I've always called them. There is never no real leadership. If there was, the world wouldn't be the way it is. Right. So now also on the 11th and the 12th, I'm just saying to be very careful, be very caution, especially if you guys want to be intimate, let's say with someone, please wear protection. There could be some karmic ramifications from that. Maybe you guys are getting some test results from STDs coming back. I'm just saying, like, be very, very cautious this week. Be very, very mindful. Be very, very cautious, because you're also going to be healing this week even more from past relationships, especially. Maybe you guys ended relationships, that could have been with friends, with romantic partner, whatever it is, right? There's a lot of healing going on, and it's utilizing and taking that advantage. It's like reflecting back on it, like friendships, let's say. That's why this week you could start hearing from certain people that have done you wrong, and they reach out to you, and then all of a sudden you're like, you know what, I'm just no longer interested. What you did to me was very hurtful. I forgive you. However, I'm not saying that what you did to me was right. I don't want to reconnect. Or you might be like, you know what, let's talk about this. I miss you, or let's try to work things out. I really want to resolve things, like whatever. You guys got to listen to what feels right for you, like what resonates for you. You don't know what you're going to feel or what you're going to say until that person reach out. Or maybe you want to reach out to that person, say, you know what, I'm really sorry for what I said or what I did, like whatever it is, right? Like we all make mistakes. We all have things that we said that we wish we didn't say, that we didn't do. All of those things, that's part of life. That's part of lessons, and it can get very karmic very quickly and very fast. So it's like really taking your time, really processing things and taking that time for you. Okay, so just circle the 11th and the 12th as well. Okay, just please be very mindful. I'm not going to be going around bigger crowds and stuff like that those days myself. It's like certain days I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to stay more low key for different things. I work with these energies. That's why I do these videos, to help you guys out. Now, even on the 9th and the 10th of June, I kept on hearing June 9th, like really loudly for some reason. Like, just as I was about to start this video, I've kept on hearing June 9th. So I don't know if something significant is going to happen on June 9th. If there is, let me know, you guys. Let me know, right? Because when I start getting those messages coming in really loud from spirit, I'm like, okay, I'll say it, right? So June 9th and 10th could be a day you guys are taking action, right? Maybe that's when you've been reflecting over the past couple of days and you're like, I got to start taking action. You might have, some different challenges and such like that those days. You might be like, I want to really, really feel that I'm moving forward. And you're going to be looking back over things, like even that day for me, the 10th, right? Challenges. I am going to be freaked out when I have to go see the surgeon. I'm really going to be freaked out, to be honest. However, I'm going to psych my day up. It can be a little challenging day, right? You know, however, that day you could also say, wow, I'm really glad I got this done and over with. Or maybe that's the day that you finished your project when you're like, wow, I just finished writing my book, or I just finished, doing this, or our renovations are now finished, or like whatever it is, right? Take that time to really reflect back over that, what you have accomplished and so on, no matter how hard it was or how easy it is, right? There's certain things that are harder than the others and such like that, right? Y'all please send me some healing vibes on the 10th. I'm just saying. So, anyways, now on the 13th and the 14th this week of June, you really, really are going to be seeing even more in a broader perspective how you have moved forward, like really how you have moved forward through your challenges. You're going to be like, you know what? Now I'm going to start making these huge, huge, huge drastic changes, like whatever it is. How I'm keep talking about this is a week you guys are going to want to start reinventing yourself in like whatever way it is. Maybe what happened, with the 11th and the 12th could be like very life-changing. Be very careful, please be very careful. That's a day of like wars, violence, deaths, things like that. So because of that day, you might be saying on the 13th and 14th, I can't do this anymore. I've now got to speak from my heart. You should always be speaking from your heart. Always. Why would you be somebody who you're not? Really ponder that day and really look back, because if you look back if you can remember, that is to the year 2004, to the year 2012, or 2004 circle and the year 2012, there could be some similar situations this week that are connected with that. Like I know exactly what happened in 2004 and 2012 in a big way, not just a little way. So, and I already know that's going to happen. I can already see it myself personally, that, okay, what happened that year and that year, I can exactly see why this year of all years, this is now going to happen, right? And it's something significant. It's not something small, like it could be like a death. Maybe somebody back in 2004 passed away. That, if it's a family member or a friend or like whatever, I'm just saying that could happen again, right? 2000, like it could be a marriage. Maybe some of you guys are getting married. Maybe, you're getting divorced. Maybe you're going to have a baby. Like they're really, really, it's something really big like that. It's not something light, right? So just kind of, ponder back on that time, right? Because it's like a karmic week, right? I keep saying that, you know? Now, on the 8th of June, it's a master number day, Master number days are the day to utilize that energy, like really, write down. And that could be the day when you're starting to even see 2012 that year and 2004 that year, that day specifically, of what's being circled, of what's really happening. And you're really going to see how fast things have been going on. Like universal 8 year, this is a really, really fast year. Like we're already like mid-June, getting to mid-June here. Like, are you kidding me, right? The year is fast. This is a really fast year. And it's really health focused as well. So if there are health changes that you do need to do it. Like even my surgery, it was long overdue, right? But I gave all my energy and my soul and my heart to my dog, Bella, because I just loved her so much. So now there's some ramifications as well with my health because of that, right? Long story. So you're going to be more health conscious, especially like in like whatever it is, like in whatever way, you're going to know how that resonates with you. You're also going to see what you're not happy with, especially with relationships, even more. Maybe that's the day when when your old friend contacts you or whoever it was that you had a falling out with, right? All of a sudden, that could be the day that you hear from them, being a master number day. And it's your choice of what you want to do with that, right? You know what's best for you. And, there are second chances. Maybe that's the day you hear from your soulmate that you had your eyes on for a long time. Maybe it's the divine timing, right? There's a lot of karmic energy this week, you guys. So just be really, really mindful, right? Now, the planets affect our bodies in different ways and also your animals. Energy is energy. We had solar storms, solar flares, like even the volcano on the Big Island in Hawaii erupted again, right? Peely wants to talk story, right? The energy affects us all. Like some of you might have been feeling like, wow, like I have a headache, or I'm feeling a little dizzy or lightheaded, or, maybe it's this, and that. Energy is energy. You can't fight and run from the universe, for goodness sakes. I've tried, believe me. I just try to work with the universe and allow the ebb and the flow to happen with ease and go with the flow. Now, on the 7th, you might find that, my shoulders and my arms are a little bit more sensitive, and my lungs and so on. I've had some people like, geez, my lungs and such like that, because as you're healing, it does affect your lungs, right? When you're crying, when you're letting go and grieving, it goes right into your lungs, right? So just be gentle on yourself. Oh, I'm not going to cry then, Jenny. I'm not going to let go. Let go. Don't suppress your emotions. Don't. Oh, you should have gotten over that by now. You should. When somebody starts saying that to you, it's like, who do you think you are for telling me how I should have got over that? Oh, my dad passed away 2 years ago, or my mom passed away 5 years ago. You're still like, or ignore that. We all heal in our own way. We're all healing one way or another. And as we're healing through traumatic situations, if it's through a death or something major, you will get triggered at different times, especially new moons, full moons, different times. Our soul purposely brings up certain memories once upon a time ago on purpose to help you heal and reflect and let go even more, right? Healing is a process. You have to be very gentle on yourself, and kind towards yourself, right? Some of us are healing from major other lifetimes. That's why I do a lot of past life Akashic record readings. Read into your other lifetimes, see what's going on, see where you're blocking, see what still needs to be resolved, healed, and unstuck, and all of those things, right? We're all different, and nobody has the right to ever judge anybody for what's going on and so on. It's not your journey, it's their journey. Please be mindful. Okay. So on the 8th and the 9th, you might have, your breast might be a little bit more sensitive. And that's for you as well, guys, right? It affects men as well. Energy is energy. And these energies affects your animals. Keep in that mind. So you might find that your animals are licking themselves in different areas, or they want more to drink more water, or they're feeling a little bit off, and so on and so on. Like even June 10th and 11th, you're going to find heart. It's all heart, blood pressure, blood related. Oh gosh, that's the day I see my surgeon. Oh my Lord, have mercy. Supposed to get my stitches removed. See, there we go again. So it shows you right there. Fears in my mind, I'm trying to release and let go of as well. Work through, work through, work through. Oh, dear Lord. So I just felt that. However, see yourself getting through the situation. If it's, somebody from your past, you're like, wow, I don't know how to handle this. You get a message from someone from your past or anybody, and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe like they just sent me a message. Oh, what do I do? When you're uncertain, take that step back and say, okay, reflect back on that relationship with that person, let's say, whoever, business, friendship, romantic, whatever. What did you learn from that? How did it go? Really reflect back on that and ask yourself deep down, do you really want to connect with that person? We can have falling out and so on and so on. Soul contracts can end and we can bring them back in our life. There's a lot of karma this week, as I'm saying, good karma and bad karma. Karma is karma. We all have good karma bringing in our dharma and so on. And we also have not so good karma from our past actions, our behavior, what we've said and done, and so on and so on and so on. Right? So it's up to you. It's up to you. Now, the 12th and the 14th, your pancreas, and your digestive system, you might even be feeling, I'm just not drawn to eat certain foods. Let's say if it's spicier foods, that might affect my digestion, intestinal, and so on, right? Go in your own kind of rhythm and stuff like that, right? You might be like, I just kind of want to eat more fruits and vegetables that day. Maybe some soups or something more lighter. I don't want to have like a bigger meal, let's say. Listen to your body, especially this week as well. Listen to your body to see what your body is saying, body talk and so on, right? And when you start doing that and really taking time out for yourself, like even go for hikes this week, if you can, get away out in nature more so and stay away from crowds, please. That can go from not so good to real bad in seconds, like really bad in seconds. 11th and the 12th, circle that. And also too, what happened on the new moon on the 6th, by the way, what happened that day or what you're doing that day, if you heard from somebody or something or whatever, there's also deceptive energy on that day. So what you do on the new moon, you're going to see more results on the full moon on the 21st of this month, by the way. So, and that's also another deceptive day as well, right? I'll talk about that, the other full moon, as we get into that time on the 21st, right? So, even Gemini, it's more favorable for those of you who are Geminis or you have that in your charts and so on and so on. Different signs we get affected more than others during full moons, Mercury times, retrogrades, all of those things. That's why I talk about that. Because you could be like, well, why am I going through this and this and that? Or, oh my God. Or that was the total best day of my entire life, because it falls onto different energies and so on and so on. Right. So anyways, now I'm going to pull a couple of cards to see what the universe has to say for us. And whenever I'm with a client, I don't use cards because I'm a clairvoyant. I can see right through you, believe me. So we're going to talk to the cards, to the universe, because this is collective. This is a universal collective energy right now, right? And, if you guys could please like my videos, make some comments and such, like, let me know what's happening to you guys. I'm a chatter. I like to chat to people, right? It really helps my channel. I'm trying to build it up here. It's taken forever. Oh my gosh, but I'd like to do more videos, but it's just, the timing and stuff like that as well for me. Right? I normally work 14-hour days. So I'm trying to kind of scale it down a little bit better and focus more on my health right now, honestly. Right. So anyways, so let's ask universal energies, as I call it. What is the message from the universe from the 7th to the 14th of June? And whenever you guys are using cards, make sure you clear it as well. Clear it, knock 3 times on wood. And I've cleared these decks before. I've even put them down here. So what is the message from the universal forces from the 7th to the 14th? The universal forces from the 7th to the 14th. How many of you guys remembered what you're doing back in 2004 and 2012 with certain huge, life changes? I know exactly what was happening. I'm looking forward to 2012 more than 2004. For me, it's a death. And I can see that coming with someone. I'm not going to go on about it. So this is really kind of really cool. The card that came down is to trust and have faith. And look at this card. It looks like an angel, does it not? Right? I'm trusting the process. I'm trusting how universal has my back. I'm putting my trust and faith into the universe. The universe takes care of all of my needs and wants and desires. Everything is taken care of by the universe. I'm trusting the process. Jeni, this hasn't happened yet. Maybe it's not the right time. Maybe that's not the right path. That's why you should book a reading with Jeni. My goodness, I'm just saying, get that clarity. Because sometimes all we need is to have that confirmation that we are on the right path, right? That can really make a difference. Oh, should I do this and should I do that? Get the confirmation, you guys. It's life-changing. Should I do that? Okay, now, so what is the message from the 7th to the 14th from the spirit world? 7th to the 14th, what's the message from the universal? And if these cards resonate with you, then that's for you. That's definitely for you. 7th to the 14th. 7th to the 14th. 7th to the 14th. It's a message from the spirit world, 7th to the 14th. Wow. Okay, so too many cards spelled out here. So, message from the universe, the 7th to the 14th. Wow, right away. Right away. Now, the energy that came out here, by the way, how very, very fitting. It's the deer, which represents power. Now, this is a week also where you're going to want to be taking your power back. And this is also a week, as I mentioned, the 11th and the 12th of June can be very, very karmic. It's a day of power. It's a day of violence. It's a day of wars and so on and so on. There could be a lot of big crowds and fights and violence. And the world is tired of the bullshit from the so-called leaders. And this is a week also, too, where some of you are taking your power back. As you're taking your power back, you start your healing process even more profoundly. It's not okay with what you said to me. It's not okay with how you're treating me. So because of that, I'm walking away. I'm ending my connection with you. Or I'm going to end my job. I'm not getting treated with respect. I'm tired of getting walked on. I'm tired of getting, treated like I'm not appreciated, like just certain things. Like you guys will know what resonates with you. What you allow will continue. If you allow somebody to treat you like shit, believe me, they're going to keep on walking all over you, controlling, manipulating, and so on and so on and so on. Okay? So you got to be very careful. Be very careful, right? Sometimes we have to go through that in order to be like, God, I've finally had enough. I've finally had enough. Maybe a friend told you, end your friendship with that person or end your relationship with that person, da 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 da, and you did it, and now you're having regrets that you ended that friendship or you ended that relationship or you walked away from your job because you didn't listen to your soul. You listened to them. We can get advice. However, you still got to listen to your own soul speak. When you're conflicting with your heart and your mind over decisions or trying to make a decision, you are not listening to your inner guru. You're not listening to your soul. Take time out for you. Like I'll turn my phone off or actually on mute throughout the day at certain times when I need some time for myself. Because it's like if you guys notice that when you're working on something and then all of a sudden you get nonstop messages or calls or distractions and it throws you off your path of what you were working on or doing. And then you're like, it stops right there. Right? For me, as soon as I'm working on something that I know I have to concentrate on and work on, and all of a sudden I get slammed with calls or whatever, I instantly turn my phone to silent. Instantly, no matter what. I can get back to that person or message. I always do. However, when I'm taking time out for me, that's my time. That's self-love. That's time for me. And you might even find that even on the 8th of June, by the way, that you know what? I need to take time out for me. I need to take this day for me to reflect back on my week, to reflect back on the past few months or the year, or like whatever it is. Maybe it's a day I need for me to let go and to heal, and so on. Listen to your soul speak. But Jeni, I just don't hear it. That's an indication that you need to take more time out for you. Set some boundaries. Set boundaries. Who you surround yourself with, you become. Be very mindful. Very mindful. All righty then. What is the universal message from the 7th to the 14th of June? It's the universal message. 17th. Yes. Wow. What was I just talking about? Detach. Detach from the drama. Detach from situations that no longer serve you. When you start attaching yourself, this is when suffering and grieving starts coming on. Detach from being there for everybody else but yourself. Like I learned that, of course, with my dog, Bella. I just loved her. I exhausted myself every single day. She was suffering. I was trying to do everything I could to help her. So the only thing that brings me peace is knowing that she is no longer suffering. And I actually did, by the way, go look at that puppy, that beautiful little baby puppy I was going to get that I fell in love with. But I'm like, no, this is not the right time. I'm still grieving over Bella. This is just not the right time. I have to focus on me and my health and my well-being right now. And when the time is right, I'll eventually get another dog, of course, right? Eventually get another dog, right? So this is why you need to take that time out to pause. And, especially it's like when you're conflicting within yourself of that emotion. I want this and this and this and this and that. Of course, I get that. However, things do come together at the right timing. Maybe there's certain things you're supposed to do first before something can happen. Maybe that's just not the right path for you. Detach from certain outcomes, detach from certain things. Stay more connected in the now, right? So now, please like my channel and please mark the date down if you guys are wanting a reading. Friday, June the 28th at 12 noon Mountain Standard Time, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, to tune in right here on YouTube to get a free reading by me. Whenever my team posts, on anything that they're doing, any videos and such like that, there's always links. You'll have to read it, what they say, and then they'll say, click on this link. That's what brings you right to the video or whatever it is so you can watch it. Alrighty then. So I want to wish you guys an awesome week, and please, please be mindful on the 11th and the 12th of June. That can be a very, very violent day. Please, please be safe. I understand humanity wanting to speak up and all of these things. I get that. I'm an activist myself for people. I stand up for people and righteousness and humanity and for animals. So I go after a lot of different things. There's people out there who are too scared to speak up. I go full throttle on, my other accounts. Join me, follow me on Instagram and so on, and subscribe here to YouTube and everything. And, you'll hear me. Twitter is where I rant and rave very bluntly, right? So I do stand up. Just because I put a post up does not mean I'm going through it, right? I talk to all walks of life all day long in different lives. I do prayers every night for humanity, asking to bring peace to this world. And also, especially, I ask our universe to show those who are fighting with depression, show those who, the darker forces, let's say, who are only going after power and greed and wanting to hurt others without even caring. I ask the universe, the Holy Spirit, to send them unconditional love and to show them what they are doing and how they are hurting us. So Power of prayers, the universe hears them, even though we might not see it. But believe me, miracles do happen. The world has been awakening with all of this other bullshit that's been going on with it, and so on and so on and so on. Watch my predictions videos, and you guys will hear more about it. So what I predicted has already happened or is currently happening. All right. So subscribe to my channel, you guys. Tune in on the 28th of May if you want a free reading, or book soulworkwithjeni.com.